Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T. As we broadcast live here on Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We'll get you out of here before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive-Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver live free picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and deliver those winners of professional handicappers over at Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place. So let's meet the cappers and get right to the picks, as we don't mess around here on the Drive-Thru. Let's say, Rod, what's going on?
No, not too much, Tony. Not a bad day yesterday. Nice little winning day. So looking to continue into June, because I know I ended May was a little bit rough. It was the downtrend, but hey, started June. A nice little winning day. We're here in a smaller slate of action here today, but I think there's some nice spots to make us some money. So let's get to it.
Let's get to it indeed. Let's go to Joey Tron. Joey, what's happening?
What's up, Tony? How you doing? Had a good weekend. Cashed Ryan Blaney yesterday, 9-1 on the on a NASCAR show along with Bubba Wallace, top 10. So definitely a good race for me. But other than that, great weekend. How was yours?
Oh, very good weekend. Closed out yesterday. I really loved the Padres rallying to cover that run line against the Pirates yesterday. It gave me a really good day yesterday. Kirk, what's happening?
Not much. Kind of on the same wave as Rod. Kind of ended May a little rough, so just looking to turn the corner here in June.
Very good. And we just welcome into the show here Jovan. Just signing in. Let's see if he's ready to roll. Jovan, what's going on?
Yeah, ended off May on a high note. May started off rough. Then as the month progressed, I steadied the ship and veered it in the winning direction. So, just looking to carry that into May for the dog days.
Yeah, we definitely are into the dog days, as we say here in the industry, as we get into the June this time of the year. All right, let's get to it, guys. Major League Baseball. We'll take a look at here a 7-game card, and we'll do a block of 4, a block of 3, and then today we'll talk about the NBA series and NHL series prices. See if the cappers have some opinions here. There are some big. We won't talk the game. We'll just talk the overall series at the end of this baseball segment. So let's get to the baseball here, guys. We'll start off here. We got a beauty here. Rockies and Marlins. We got the Rockies here going to be laying $1.90. Total sits here at 8. And next up in this block, we've got as well Brewers and Reds. Red Hot Brewers, but the Reds have coming down a little bit, down to $1.11 here. Total of 9. Got the streaking Brewers getting the money here in this one. Angels and Red Sox. Note the pitching change. Richard Fitz slotted in for Bayo. Bayo goes tomorrow. Red Sox $1.43, total 9.5. We'll close the block with Tigers and White Sox. This one's up to Tigers $2.32, total of 8.5. We get the block underway here with Joey.
Yeah, so the first one I'm looking at here, it is the Rockies-Marlins game, but it's definitely not going to be the Rockies. I'm taking the Marlins team total over 4.5 runs. I think Herman Marquez is god-awful. He's allowed 12 earned runs his last 3 road starts, and I definitely think the Marlins can smack him around and rally around the bases a little bit. And then I also like the Reds on the money line. I think the Brewers, honestly, I think they're overplaying themselves here. Before they swept the Phillies, they were just 3-12 as a road dog. The Reds are 6-4 at home against their division and 7-5 at home when the total is 9 to 9.5. Give me the Reds money line and the Marlins team total over 4.5.
From Joey. Next up, we move right on over to Javon.
Rough slate today or tonight, but I'm gonna roll with the White Sox plus 1.5. It's just a situation where neither one of these teams get hit much, and Flaherty, he's been pitching better, but I think this has one run game written all over it. Rather, just one of those things. Jonathan Cannon, he's really a hit or miss pitcher. Either he's having horrible starts or he puts some strong starts together. At home, getting this plus money, it's just too much to pass up on me. Taking it on the run line, that's the way I would play it. That's really the only thing that I would like. The other game, I would just throw Milwaukee out there just on the strength of them being on the winning streak, but nothing else. Because they have Savali on the mound, and you already know what it is with him.
That's right. The pitchers have no problem seeing that fastball over the plate whatsoever with Savali. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me, what I'm looking at here in this time spot is Give me the Angels here in the spot. Boston against left-handed pitching this season definitely not been winning you money, been losing you money if you've been taking Boston versus left-handed stars. And Anderson, hey, I think he can mow down Boston here in this one. Fitz, maybe he'll go a few innings for you, but I think it gives you more fits than anything else. Will Ricardo there in that matchup? So give me the Angels there in that one, and Flaherty, it's that type of price, no chance. Jovan's going to take the plus 1.5. I'll just take the shot here with the money line and the White Sox at that price. Hey, they're playing half decent, 3-7. I know it's Detroit. I just don't like Flaherty there in that matchup. I'll take a shot with the White Sox at 2 times my money and fade Detroit and Flaherty going in that one. That could get ugly.
All right, from Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Kirk.
Yeah, in this time slot, I don't really need to speak much. I'm just gonna fade the Rockies here. I mean, take the Marlins minus 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, whatever you're comfortable with. Get some plus money, and yeah, if I'm wrong here, I'll do it again tomorrow with the Marlins anyways. So as long as the Rockies haven't won a series all year, if I go 2 for 3 this series with plus money, I'm winning money. So give me the Marlins on the run line.
All right, there for Kirk. Well, I wonder what you think about tomorrow with Sandy on the mound from Miami. That'll be interesting thought there. All right, I'll tell you what I think about these.
Over.
There you go. Might be an over there. Well, I see Savali, and I think again there's some certain pitchers that can break streaks. We talked out with Sebi, right? When Minnesota had that streak, Sebi kind of killed the streak. I think Savali's a streak crusher here. He's going to crush the streak here. I've seen enough of Savali. I've seen him in person give up 3 homers last year against the Dodgers, and 3 to Will Smith, I should say. That wasn't him, but all to Smith. But I've seen him just get pounded. Milwaukee hitting 234 against righties. Singer at home, an ERA of 2.96 in 5 starts. We know the Milwaukee bullpen on the road has not been sharp here. ERA over 5.5. And at this coin flip price this year, they are 5-12 in line between plus 125 and minus 125, losing 7.5 units. So I'll look at the Cincinnati in that spot. I like under here. I look at under a lot with these White Sox because there was a glimmer of hope with their starters. Right, Cannon has been a cannon here for Chicago, putting up some pretty good numbers in his 3 home games, an ERA of 1.17, and the White Sox bullpen over their past 5 games, an ERA of 2.84. So I'll look here at the under in that one, in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we get ready here for the next series of games, and let's get the games up for you right here for this next slate of games. Let's go to it here. Next up, we've got Padres and Giants. Giants $1.70, total 7.5. Well, the homeless has made it back to the shelter here as they've been getting rocked around here in the northern part of the country there in Canada. Twins $1.61, total of 9.5. We close it out with the Dodgers. They get the New York series here. Dodgers $1.49 against the Mets, total 9.5. We get the block underway here with Joey.
Yeah, I like the over with the Padres and the Giants. I think there's going to be a handful of runs here. Colic has allowed 3+ earned runs in 3 straight starts, and in my opinion, Logan Webb is regressing. He's allowed 3 earned in back-to-back starts. The over is 3-1 the last 4 between the Giants and the Padres, and I think we'll make it 4-1 here. And then I like the Dodgers laying the run line here against the Mets. There's a pretty fun trend here that the Sunday Night Baseball loser is 7-2 straight up their following game. And the last team that lost Sunday Night Baseball was the Dodgers, and they went out and won by 5 against Cleveland. Paul Blackburn is making his first start this season for the Mets, and I think the Dodgers will definitely get a little bit of anger out on him tonight. So lay it with the Dodgers on the run line.
There we go from Joey. Next up, we move right on over to who did we get here? I get out of turn to Joey, and we move on over to Javon.
Yeah, I'm on the homeless. I'm looking at this plus money, and I'm gonna bite. Joe Ryan, as good as he's been notorious for not getting run support. It's just one of those pitches. He's their ace, and the thing about aces are they don't get run support, and I think being at home is gonna serve the homeless well. 1-9 in their last 10. I know it's you gotta hold your nose for it, but I'm gonna do so. If you don't feel confident in that, then you can still take them at +1.5 or even better. I would say maybe first five. Severino, he pitches better on the road as opposed to home, but I think he has a good start in him against the Minnesota Twins. So I'm gonna take a shot here with them.
There we go with Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me, in this time block, definitely not my favorite. I'm going to take no runs first inning. I think Blackburn can get 3 outs. That's all I need him to do. After that, he can implode late after the first inning. But I think he can get through the top 3 there. No runs first inning. I think they're in that one. I think May can do the same. Hold down this Mets offense for 3 outs and get us the Nerfy. Mets also 11-3 as a dog to the Nerfy this year. Give me no runs first inning in that one.
Yeah, from Rod.
And then yes runs first inning between the Twins and the Homeless, because I think we see plenty in that one tonight. So yes runs first inning for the Twins and the Athletics.
There we go with Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Kirk.
Yeah, not a time slot I really love either, but I'm going to be on the Dodgers money line. Blackburn is pitching his first game of the season, as Joe said, and Dodgers coming off that Sunday night baseball. I think they kind of saying exactly what Joey said, but take some anger out on this Mets team with Blackburn. So I'm going to take the Dodgers here on the money line in this time slot.
Yeah, he's got the cap on. The Red Sox guys, they like to see the New York teams get beat up. It puts a smile on their face, as you can tell. There, all right, I'll tell you what I think here about these games here. I'm gonna look under Padres and Giants. Why? Because that's what the Giants do in night games. They just go under. It's 12-3 this year, and if you go back and look the past 2+ seasons, about 66%. Maybe even higher based on this year's numbers here. You look at the Padres, 6-3 the under on the road, facing a team with a bullpen ERA of 3.5 or lower. Just go under there. I'm going to look at run line here with this Twins here against the Homeless. Looking at this Twins team, they have hit at night. They hit 260, and we look at the Athletics over the past 5, 233. Ryan in his past 5 games an ERA of 1.86, but Severino at home in this in Sacramento, this ballpark, an ERA of 6.20 in his 7 starts at home. Not very good. Athletics bullpen past 5 games ERA 6.5, and this is something that got my attention against these bad bullpens this year. Minnesota 10-0 to the run line, facing a team with a bullpen ERA of 4.7 or higher this season. That's a return of 11.5 units. The Homeless in their Homeless Park 11-17 to the run line, losing 6.5 units. So I'll go run line here with Minnesota. Going over with Mets and Dodgers. Blackburn's had struggles on the road last year. Win is expected to blow out in L.A. New York. The Mets here over their past 6 games hitting 260 with 10 homers. L.A. over their past 6, 316 with 13 homers. And Dodger bullpen has been having their struggles in May. ERA over 4 with all those injuries. And New York is 6-0 to the over this year, facing an NL team with an on-base percentage of 340 or higher this season. LA 19-10 to the over at home. Like the over in this one. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we'll move on over to, let's take a look here at the NBA futures here for the finals, right? We're a few days away, so I thought it'd be a good time on a Monday here with a light card to take a look at the finals odds here to win the finals, or you may choose to pick a team to win the next number of games if you like that better. But right now, Pacers Thunder, the Thunder about $6.5 to $7 favorite. You get about $5 back on the Pacers to win the title, to hoist the trophy. So we'll get this block underway here with Joey.
I think it's quite obvious here, but I'm going with the Pacers. But no, in all seriousness here, I think this will be a pretty good series. I'm not a huge NBA fan, regardless whether or not the Pacers are in it, but I do think these are 2 pretty exciting teams, and I really like the Pacers to take this in 7, and I found it at 15-1 on DraftKings.
There we go with Joey. Pacers in 7. Next up, we move right on to Joanne.
Oh yeah, this is a Thunder Buddy conglomerate over here at Pick Dogs. We're not gonna be going with the Pacers in this one. There'll be spots where we could back them, but as far as the series goes, it's nothing but the Thunder for me. With that said, it's either gonna be 5 or 6. That's really the bottom line. The much superior defense. is on the OKC side. Um, the coaching advantage, I would give it to Rick Carlisle. He's a championship coach. He's gonna put his guys in good positions, and that holds value to me because Indy's gonna have chances, where they're gonna get us some cash. In what way, what form, I don't know. That's a game by game scenario, right there. Knowing me, I like to chop it up into quarters and halves. So I tend to see those very well. With that being said, overall, on a macro level, it's OKC, the 5 or 6. I haven't really decided which one it's going to be for me.
There from Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
I think the bookmakers already decided for you that it's going to be 5. If you could take if you really think the Pacers, you take the plus 2.5. It's like a minus 105. If you're going to take the plus 1.5, I'm seeing a plus 220 on the Pacers. So that's telling me this is as Jovan alluded to. This is either in 5 or 6. I'm going to say it's 5. I think they open it up and win both their games at home. They head into Indiana. They get the split. They come back home in game 5 and they finish them off. So for me, it's 4-1. Thunder Buddies win the championship, and that's a plus 210. I think that's about the best you can do. If it's 4-2, the other one is plus 400. So in 6. Other than that, I think it's you're hoping and wishing that the Pacers win it, but or keep it close. I don't think so. I think they're going to run into an OKC defense that they've never seen a defense like this before. The Knicks gave you a lot of wide open shots and looks. This Thunder Buddies team is not going to give you those shots. Thunder Buddies winning the championship.
Yeah, from Rod. All right, well, okay, next up we move right on over to Kirk.
Yeah, I've been high on the Pacers all season, but this is where it ends. I think it's 4 or 5 for the Thunder. I'm going to take the Thunder minus 2.5 in the series. So 4-1 or sweep at minus 130. I think Pacers maybe grab one in Indy, but that's probably about it. They're not going to win Game 5 in OKC if it goes back to that. So the furthest I see it going is 5. I mean, we saw OKC blow that one game, get blown out by Minnesota, and then kind of get back on track. Maybe they have one game like that. So that's why I think 4 or 5.
Yeah, from Kirk. Yeah, I was going back and forth with this game. More thought about it. Gave it some thought this afternoon. I'm going to go Pacers to win the series. They look to me like a world championship team, home and away. OKC looks to me like one of the best team this century at home, but below average on the road. This team is the 4th worst shooting team on the road, and the way they shoot the ball on the road, I can't back them. Denver took them to 7 games. That's all you need to know. Denver took them to 7. And when it mattered, now I know we make fun of the in-season tournament, but we don't make fun of the championship game. So when $1 million was on the line, the Bucks pounded the Thunder in that game. So just want to remind you guys about that as well. But I know we get excited about watching OKC, but a lot of their domination has been at home in the playoffs. It has not been on the road as much. Matter of fact, they haven't covered a road game yet. So on the road. So that's not a championship team. Remember what they say, right? Good teams win. Great teams cover. Thunder has not covered a road game. I can't put them in that great section yet. They're great at home. Probably the greatest home team I've seen in the last 25 years. But I can't say that about them on the road. So Pacers have shown the ability to win games on the road, winning 6 of their 8 playoff games, not covering, but winning straight up on the road, averaging 118 points per 100 possessions. Yes, I know OKC plays great defense, but have they seen an offensive team like this? I don't. That's we're getting caught. We're seeing the defense, but have they seen an offense this dynamic? We'll see. But I will tell you right now, when the chips were down, they got crushed by Milwaukee. That's all I got to say. Listen, you can make fun of the in-season game tournament all you want, but $1 million was on the line that game, and they got pounded by the Bucks. That's all. I remember that, and I'm going to remember this for a while because a lot of people love this Thunder team. But what I've seen from the Pacers on the road has been pretty good. It's championship material. They play well at home, but OKC wows you at home. and they not so much on the road. And that's the key. And that Pacers have shown they can take 2 games on the road in this series. It wouldn't surprise anybody the way they shoot. But as long as they're healthy, they got a shot. The way they're hitting those threes, I know they may not be open, but how will they defend a team like this dynamic? We don't know, because Thunder is an old team. They have no depth whatsoever. Murray they weren't 100%. We know Jokic has his a little fatigue there as well. But the Porter was a no show. They got probably, other than Murray and Jokic, who else can you count on from the Thunder? And that team took them to 7 games. That took them to 7. I know everyone loves the Thunder because they made a lot of people a lot of money. They made me a lot of money, but the Pacers, the second half since the All-Star break, been pretty good. They've been pretty good, and the fact they beat Cleveland on the road, right? And Cleveland's a pretty good team. Cleveland was the number 1 defensive team. I'm sorry, number 1 road team in the postseason with a 126.5 points per 100 possessions there in the playoffs this year. So I got to give props for that series win against Cleveland. Not so much for New York. I mean, New York has their flaws, and that's been the situation with Tibbs, right? Giving up those wide open. His team's giving up those wide open threes. We know that's the case, but let's see how OKC can defend the speed and this fast break and this Pacers team. We haven't seen it, so I know. Listen, I give credit to Pacers. They're playing great defense, but they beat the Timberwolves. Okay, I don't know if they're the greatest team. Listen, Timberwolves are almost if the Warriors would have beaten the Spurs, the Timberwolves would have been a play-in team. So that's who the Thunder beat. Was it probably a play-in team? Because San Antonio beat Golden State. Had that not happened late in that season, Minnesota would have been a play-in team. So I'm not that I'm not. Look, they beat Memphis, they beat Denver, and they beat Minnesota. These aren't. I mean, Denver is not the team they were before. Memphis is the team going the other way. So let's see. But at that price, I can make a case for the Pacers. When you got a $5 favorite, or actually you're getting 5 to 1 on your money, and you can make a case for a team, you got to take them. I can make a case for the Pacers. OKC has been garbage on the road this year. They have not covered a spread. Great teams cover. They haven't covered on the road. So there you go. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we get ready to switch on over to NHL, as we'll look at the NHL series price here. We got Panthers and Oilers beginning here on the 4th. And in this one, we've got Oilers about $1.25, $1.35 favorite. Total sits here. No total sits to the other side is going to be plus 115, plus 105 on the other end here. Let's see who we're going to start with here in this block. We start with Joey.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the Stanley Cup go over to our northern friends across the border up to Canada, and I think the Oilers are winning this one in 6 games. I'll be honest, I don't like the Florida Panthers. I'm sick and tired of them, and I really, really hope Edmonton can do it. So a little bit of bias there, but I think the Oilers do it in 6 games, 4-2, and I found that at plus 550 also on DraftKings.
There you go from Joey. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Well, you know what I'm cheering for. So, and history kind of shows us the way this is supposed to go. You look at what the Panthers did. Their first cup, they made it. They lost. Lost to Vegas in that cup. Then the following year they came and they faced the Oilers last year and won themselves their cup. Hey, it's their 3rd straight season being here. We'll see what happens there. But the Oilers, hey, they made it there and they lost. And bounce back. So it's like Gretzky did the same thing back in the day. Hey, he went against the Islanders, got whooped in it, got swept actually in that beat down, and then got lucky enough that he got to face the Islanders again the following year and then hoisted the cup. And then you look at Sidney Crosby, same thing. He got beat down by Detroit, lost the cup. They know what it's like. And then you get to lucky enough that he got the bounce back the following year and get to face Detroit again. Penguins beat them, got themselves the cup. So does history repeat itself with that kind of saying? Definitely possibility here. But for me, it's also home ice advantage. I think if you play that Game 7 last year in Edmonton instead of in Florida, I think the Oilers win it last year. They had the team to do it. They got the team again this year. You got to think they're healthier as well. Leon last year was dealing with fractured ribs. His wrist was all gibbled as well, so he was trying to play one-handed for most of the finals last year. No Kane in the finals last year as well, having that big body smacking the Panthers back, because that's what they're going to do. Panthers are just going to try to bully the Oilers, and guess what? The Oilers can bully back. I know they're missing their top hitter in Zach Hyman, but you throw Ekholm back in the mix defensively, and I think we're in for a heck of a series. Of course, with the price there, I'll just take the Oilers to win the series. I think they can do it quick, but anything can happen in hockey. I think everybody is expecting to see a whole game, a 7-game series again, and I don't think so. I think it's much like the NBA. I think it's the same thing. I think home ice advantage. You look last year, the Florida Panthers took advantage of those first 2 games at home in Edmonton. That building's going to be going absolutely bananas. One of the loudest buildings in the NHL. They'll be pumped, and the Oilers need to get off to the hot start. So once you get off to that hot start and win those first 2 at home, I think it will be a quick series if they could do that.
Yeah,
but either way, McDavid finally gets his cup and hoists it. And the cup comes back north of the border, as Joey says. Why? Because then that also we can see Gary Bettman pack his bags and retire out from the NHL. It's time to get some new blood and some there on the commissioner side of things for the NHL. They need a little better job. I think Bettman's going to retire, and that way you can say that, hey, I started my career on a Canadian win. I ended my career on a Canadian win. I think Bettman retires as well after the Oilers win the cup.
There we go with Rod. Next up, we move right on over to this. Kirk, have an opinion on this NHL Stanley Cup final?
I'll take the Oilers, because why not?
There we go. Why not there from Kirk? All right, we got you through here this NHL and, of course, the NBA today. And just to update some Concon. It could be another bloodbath here for the SEC team.
Hey, I'll make it a consensus, Tony. Let me interrupt you real quick.
Oh, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Oh, here we go.
And say Oilers as well. I vaguely remember what happened last year. It came to me when Rob was speaking, and, he made valid points. And if he was a lawyer, he would, persuade me to take the Oilers. So it's the Oilers for me. Oilers in 7.
Oh, I'm going to give Rod a lot of heavy sweating here, man. Poor Rod, he's going to drop it.
I tried to get into that game 7, but tickets went like crazy, and now they're at resale, and the cheapest ticket in the building is up to about 3,200 Canadian. Too rich for me. Not $3,200 on a sporting event. I would love to be in there for Game 7, because that place is going to be going absolutely bananas if it does go 7. And these 2 teams are that close, so if it went 7, wouldn't surprise me. I'm just hoping they do it sooner, as an Oilers fan.
Nah, I remember watching that series last year. They were close. They were close last year.
Yeah,
they were close last year. So, as if I remember it correctly, Oilers had their backs against the wall. They came, they kind of came out swinging and forced the Game 7 and lost. Yeah. So, same two teams match up. It's time for the other team to get this, and that's the Oilers. And what you said about history repeating itself with the great ones. McDavid, he falls in the line with the Gretzky's. And am I correct in saying that the Oilers last won with Gretzky, or was that a little bit afterwards? Did they win one more after that?
They won more. They won one more after the Gretzky era with Mark Messier at the helm.
Early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s.
Yeah. So it's time for them to win again. It's been over 30 years. Let's get it done.
34 years to be exact.
34 long years.
Yeah, there it is. That's what Gretzky got traded in 90. They won in 91 or 91. Or was it 92?
90. No, I want to say 90.
Was the Penguins.
I want to say 93 or 94, I believe, when it was with Ranford. 93 was Montreal, so it would have been 92.
Yeah, that was the year when Toronto won.
91. No, I think Pittsburgh won in 92.
So then probably 91, because it would have been.
Yeah, 91,
when did Gretzky?
91. 1990.
Gretzky was 89 or 90.
90, yeah, 90, 91? Or was it 90, 91 or 89, 90?
No, 1990s.
Yeah. 93 is
Yeah.
when Gretzky and the Kings went
Either
into
89
Toronto.
or 90.
The Gretzky Kings went into Toronto and won that Game 7 in 93. And then they got lost to Montreal in the
They
finals.
got whooped by Montreal.
Yeah,
Wasn't even
whooped.
close.
Rod wanted to put that in. Got whooped by Montreal. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was that McSorley stick nonsense there because the Kings won the first game. They were going to go up 2-0, and then the referees said, we need to measure your stick there, McSorley, and that's what they did.
Yep, and it was too big. And then the Leafs were looking like they had a chance, and no call happened on Gretzky's high stick, and he scored an OT and sent the Leafs a pack. And I think that's the closest the Leafs have ever got to a cup since
Gilmore.
1967.
Gilmore's
Yeah, the Gilmore days. Yeah, back
Oh
in the day.
man, back in the day, those were some pretty good hockey players back then. All right, for those of you following college baseball, if you like the SEC, you're crying again. Both Tennessee and Ole Miss down already 2-0 in these games against Wake Forest and Murray State. So LSU, you better do something against Arkansas Little Rock today. It'll be out too. They come up in about 9 Eastern. So if you're following the regionals, pretty exciting stuff here because in these regionals, it's a 2-game elimination. Some teams were driven to Monday because they lost, like LSU losing yesterday. So they face elimination. So does Tennessee face elimination. Oklahoma came from behind, got into the Super Regionals with a win today against North Carolina. So they got in. So they'll be in the Super Regional next week, which will be a 2-game series. And then we'll find out who are 8 are in the College World Series after next weekend. All right, we got you through the NHL. So now it's time for our Parley Purple segment where our cappers give it a parlay, team player prop, game of the future. They make the call in this segment. We get it underway here with Joey.
Yeah, I like Rafael Devers to hit a home run at plus 425.
There we go with Joey. Next up on over to Jovan.
Be a 3-teamer. That'll be the White Sox run line plus 1.5, and that's at plus money also. The Brewers money line and the Homeless on the money line.
There we go, Joey from Jovan. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me, I think we see some runs in that game. So I'm going to take Ty France for an RBI, and I'm going to take Buxton for an RBI. And take Langoliers for an RBI of the Homeless because I think they can get some runs as well.
There we go from Rod. Up next, we move on over to Kirk.
Yeah, 2-teamer for me. Marlins, Tigers, both on the money line.
And from Kirk, tell you what I like here. I like the under Padres, Giants, over Mets and Dodgers. All right, we got you through our Parley Purple segment. Now it's time to see what the cappers have for sale over at Pick Dog Trim. Into a week of action with a lot of baseball, NBA and NHL finals coming up. W action returning tomorrow from the WNBA. Let's see what Kirk has for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium. Kirk, what you got for sale today?
Yeah, I got my MLB play of the day. Hovering around even units, so looking to start off June hot in the MLB as we enter the dog days of summer. So I got one play in the MLB on board, and then probably some WNBA, NBA finals when it comes later this week. So definitely still action to be had.
There you go. You got more with Kirk over at Pick Dogs. Remember the promo code Pick It. Check out. We'll save you that 15% off. Let's see what Javon's got rolling over at Pick Dogs. Javon's been hot in NBA this year. Also, last 7 days, all sports combined, 833 units of profit. Last 7. What you got for sale, Javon?
Yeah, I have 2 MLB plays. I think one of them is already off the board. So there's still one more to be had. It's a late night game. So check that out on the website. NBA, tipping off in a few days. I'm on a 9 game heater in the NBA playoffs. So looking to find a winner to keep that going. I'll be sure to have that up aboard as soon as I make that decision. So jump on something long term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, yearly. Football's coming around the corner. You know how I do in football, so not much more to say about that. Ask me over with one or several of us for the multi-capital promotion. You can't go wrong here at Sports Chat Places Pick Dogs. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Again, over Javon over at Pick Dog Prim. Let's see what Rod's got for sale over at Pick Dog Prim. Rod's a fantastic year in NHL.
Yeah, for me over there tonight, we got some MLB. Yeah, I got my MLB play of the day. We crushed it yesterday with the Cubs on the run line. So, as we said, we started June hot. Nice rain 2 day. Nice profitable. So let's continue June staying hot. I got that play of the day included into a 3-pack, which you get my MLB dog of the day plus my play of the day in my 3-pack with Moneyball Monday going 3 plays on the MLB. Absolutely love today's small card to get us paid. And then the rest of the week, hey, we got the NHL Stanley Cup final kicks off on Wednesday. We got the NBA playoffs back as well on Thursday. And, hey, we got some CFL later on in the week as well. So grab that long-term pass. Grab that 7-day. Love this week's kickoff June. Lots of money to be made. So jump aboard. Take advantage. 2 for 1, 3 for 1, 4 for 1. Capper promotional here at Pig Dogs and Sport Jet Plates. Can't go wrong with that. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. Save 15% off as well. Let's continue to stay hot in 2025.
That's right. Get on board with Rod over at Pick Dog Prim. Stay hot there. You can see great results from Rod here as well over the past 7. Let's see what Joey has for sale over at Pick Dog Prim. Joey, been off to a great start in WNBA this year.
Yeah, I got just one MLB total up tonight. It goes off at 7-10. I'm 18-12 my last few baseball selections, and I'm 6-3 my last 9 in WNBA. So I'm definitely looking forward to some WNBA back tomorrow. Use the code PICK for 15% off my MLB play tonight as well.
That's all right. Get on board Joey over at Pick Dog Prim. Promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. And of course, multi-cap promotion also available. I got a best bet on the board right now for Major League Baseball. Having a great year in baseball. Number 2 at Pick Dogs for the year in Major League Baseball. Documented, so you can get on board with me. And also, I have a 3-pack bundling my best bet in that 3-pack with 2 other baseballs. So 3 premiums for me today. You'll buy them both, buy one or the other, or get long-term with me. Remember that 7-day pass will get all my pre and plays for that 7-day period. You go to my Handicapper page and make that purchase. Pick is your promo code to save that 15% off. And of course, match me up with the favorite capper with the multi-capper promotion. All right. Guys, we're with you here on the drive-through Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. Approaching 250,000 subscribers here on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. It is growing in massive numbers the past couple of years. So, guys, when we get 250,000 people to hit that subscribe button, you know there's great content on this channel. So check it out. More great content here from the Cappers as you contribute. Of course, Javon, you put together a Parley video series. Of course, we catch you on the weekends as well.
Yeah, and there's another one up on the board tonight, so check that out on the YouTube channel. Another 2-teamer for y'all to sink your teeth in. It's a MLB 2-teamer, so, and it's all player part 1, so I think it's gonna hit. And then on Friday I'll be back here, and then on the weekends on the morning shows.
Good, check it out, Javon. Of course, Rod, pretty much a regular here on the drive-through.
Yeah, tune in to the drive-through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'll get you some more winners.
Good. Of course, Joey, you've got that NASCAR video series.
Yes, sir. We had a great race this past weekend. Catch Ryan Blaney at 9-1 and Bubba Wallace top 10 at plus 150. This coming week, we're at the Michigan International Speedway for the Firekeepers Casino 400. So that video should be up sometime Wednesday or Thursday. Like and subscribe, and you'll be notified as soon as it drops.
Very good. And of course, Kirk, catch your videos over on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel as you cover world soccer. Of course, we just got through the champions. What's up's coming up?
Yeah, we got the Club World Cup. We got World Cup qualifiers. You'll be seeing Goran, Jack, and I soon enough if you're tuned into the soccer. So something probably coming out Thursday or Friday. Nice to have a couple days off, but they really don't let the soccer rest, so they don't let us rest. So you'll see me soon.
Very good. That's right. So it's more action there on the soccer pitch with Kirk and more. All right, looks like Murray State put 2 more across on Ole Miss, 4-0. Looks like another SEC team could go down in the College World Series. Incredible here, and we're just in the regionals, so we'll keep an eye on that. All right, that's going to do it here.
SEC. I love it when they lose.
Oh man, they got 2 going down right now. LSU could lose if they got to beat Arkansas Little Rock. That's one of the favorites. We saw Georgia go down, Vandy go down, Florida go down. I mean, Texas went down. Oklahoma survived today. They were down early, but man, 2 more SEC teams in deep trouble here. They were supposed to dominate this College World Series. It doesn't look to be. All right. Although Auburn looks to be the cream of the crop, though. They got through easily, so that's good. We'll see how it rolls for the rest of this tournament. We got another Super Regionals next week, and then the World Series from there. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru. We're back again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, so make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications. All right, before we go, any closing thoughts from anyone before we go? All right, make it a winning one, guys. We'll wave goodbye, guys. We're back.